Well. Look at what the cat dragged in. It's another recap, hosted by Dynascape and SunApple. And this time we're covering the round of 32 of the Osumania 4K World Cup 2025. The tournament has already started off unlike any other, with a record 4 upsets this round since the abolition of the group stage starting in 2021. With so many exciting and close matches to come through, we're going to take a look at some of the featured matches from over the weekend and have an exclusive interview with Malaysian captain Leon. Let's dive in. This week's first featured match is Spain vs Taiwan, a match that was shaped up to be as close as the seedings were. The match started off hot, with Taiwan opting to pick their Protect LN2 immediately.
Taiwan's favor as long as they hold these combos through the ending. And it looks like they will manage to take their own Protect.
That unfortunate miss from Victor at the end is going to be pretty much the binding of...
This turned out to be the right choice, as Taiwan dominated Spain in the first map to the tune of 15,000 points. Top performers were Shice, 2566 and Veloce, two tournament players most known for making waves by helping Taiwan get to 3rd place in the 4-digit Mania World Cup in 2024. Spain fired back, going for their Protect as well. Rise 4, Cold Storage, proved to be a little too technical for Taiwan, as Team Red took a clean 5,000 point win with everyone getting full combos on the map. The next couple of maps held equilibrium for both teams. Taiwan's pick in HB1 proved to be a little too coordination heavy for Spain, and Spain's pick in Rise 6 caught out Taiwan with the bursty tech featured in the charts. After Taiwan secured a 3rd point by exhausting their last available LN pick with a wildcard slot, things finally took a turn in the match. Spain chose to go for Rice 2, the jump stream pick. Everything was going swimmingly until Victor dropped a miss on the transition back to the jump stream section.
Walter, and we almost had a 6 net. No, Victor! That is a pretty detrimental drop, and especially with just the map length as well. Gonna be pretty hard to recover.
Taiwanese trio held strong until the very end, with Ime taking a break in one of the Trillier sections to add insult to injury. Looking at how close the ratios were, with Taiwan having more 300s but fewer 200s, that map could have been decided by a couple hundred, if not tens of points to either team on a fully clean run. Because of this crucial breakpoint, Taiwan now had a chance to close out the match early on their pick. Hybrid 3 was their weapon of choice, and despite the rocky start from Shice, the trades favored Taiwan in the end, and they defended their lead to win 5-2, causing a minor upset in the bracket. Taiwan goes on to face the United States in the winners bracket, and Spain lives on to fight Denmark in the losers bracket.
The battle for South America happened this week, with seed 13 Brazil versus the dark horse Peru at seed 20, and this one was a nail-biter. After a crazy 100 roll from the Peruvian captain Dendro, we saw them pick Rice 3, where Brazil seemed to have started the match on the wrong footing, with 2 misses on their side, but even so,
it's going to look like, because this is going to be a hell of a team score. MWC finding another drop, but it is too little too late. Peru going to convincingly take their first pick in this match to make it 0-1, and 15 300s for Anku, taking the MVP plot.
Peru's team score looked absolutely dominant. Brazil's responding pick was LN2, and throughout most of the map, Brazil was leading by just a few thousand points.
Here, they've done everything in their part, but I say that MWC finding a massive drop there at the end. Wait to see if that was a Bantram, as we saw that little lag spike there, waiting for everything to get situated, but as it stands, not actually correcting itself, so an organic miss coming through from Brazil. MWC at the very end of the chart,
giving Peru their first breakpoint. Being ahead on the match, Peru opted to pick the simple jump stream map Rice 2, where the Rice actually Goliath, that is Brazil, showed why they are the higher seed.
A couple of turns coming out from the side of Peru to help extend this lead for the Brazilians. Is it going to be a breakpoint getting given back to the Brazilians? Last couple of notes rain down, and it is going to be Brazil taking back that breakpoint they gave on over, making it 1-2 here.
After back-to-back breakpoints, it was now Brazil's turn to even up the match, choosing Rice 5, where, even after an early break from Art Lulks, off the back of a major drop from Lilito 898, Brazil held on.
Shorter picks looked a little bit dicey there for the moment when Art lost their FC, but able to really stabilize and grow this overall advantage. So no risk for the breakpoint going through. We ended at 2, and Brazil ties it up 2-2 here.
Now that it's tied up, Peru needs to find a new path to take the lead, and that path seemed to be Rice 1, where we see a similar pattern from the previous maps, with Brazil taking an early drop, and notably, Anku getting the top score of the tournament.
On the side of Brazil, 3,000 points now. They do have the supporting score. They have the accuracy as well. Is there enough time? There isn't. Last couple of notes rain down. 2,100 points, the margin of victory, and Peru get away with one there at the very end.
With Peru so close to match point, this pick was vital to Brazil's success, and they chose the choke-heavy Rice 4. But it seemed like this gamble didn't pay off, since while Brazil was leading throughout most of the map, right at the end, they hit a bump in the road.
Jump streams here and there, these bursts starting to rain down as well, but so far it is still Brazil holding the nerve for the moment. But Art finding a drop here at the end, starting to swing the lead back on over to the side of Peru, inside of 1,000 points, and Peru at the 11th hour steals it and makes it a match point situation.
This is now Peru's game to win, with match point on their pick. And instead of choosing the last remaining Rice map, they went with Hybrid 1, possibly hoping Brazil would choke again.
Core stream raining down here, a couple of bursts running down as well. Gotta watch these last couple of notes. These last couple of races could make all the difference. Gotta make sure that you do not let things go. And Brazil, 1,300 points, the margin of victory for them.
But that choke never happened, and Brazil is back at it again, getting so close to tiebreaker. With the final pick of the match on the line, Brazil had no room for error, and chose the Osu Original Hybrid 2, an insanely chokeable chart. But even with the full combo reset, Peru were able to scrape by with just enough accuracy to be able to win by less than 2,000 points, ensuring they don't have to see tiebreaker. This match's MVP is definitely Anku, whose insane accuracy gave Peru the chance they needed to win so many of these points. And congrats to Peru, but good luck to Brazil, because this losers bracket is so strong.
Japan versus Argentina is the next featured match, and it probably didn't play out how you'd think if you only looked at the stats going in. Much like some of the other matches this weekend, the first protect of the match ended up being the first pick, with Japan going for Rice 2, the jump stream chart. This was supposed to be a breeze for their team, or at least that was a plan. Although all three Japanese players had pretty clean scores overall, Argentinian accuracy superstar Tekmes single-handedly staved them off, picking up only 3,300s throughout the over 2,100 note map, a performance that topped the individual charts, beating out the likes of Neptune and Mewtwo. With a breakpoint in their pocket early on, Argentina tried to keep the momentum by picking Rice 1. To a lot of people at the start of the match, their game plan was a bit surprising, considering Argentina's only qualifier score that was better than Japan's was on one of the hybrid maps. This, however, was not the only surprise, as we got to see Jinky's scroll speed and how the map ended.
And oh no!
Oh, Jinky! Oh, that is messy misread.
Really rough miss, but it gets traded back by Catalepsy at the end. It is back to Japan, just barely by 2,000 points. This might come down to Ack at the very end. If there's any big Ack drops towards the end, Japan could lose this one, but it looks like they're looking to hold their lead.
Japan, still feeling good after reclaiming the breakpoint, decided to stay in the Rice category by picking Cold Storage. Again, they were just slightly outclassed in accuracy, and with the miss from Not 2303, the deal was sealed. From this point on, it was the Argentina show, with their team securing their protective Rice 3 through another massive performance from Tekmes and Seong, both of their Core Jack scores being top 10 in the tournament in a very contested Core Jack category. The ball did not stop rolling as Japan tried to switch it up with an LN3 pick, but through a higher average accuracy, Argentina secured their third breakpoint. With match point on the line, it was back to the bread and butter, and on Rice 6, Argentina polished it off, running off with a victory. Argentina will try to continue the streak against the United Kingdom this weekend, with Japan facing Venezuela in the losers bracket.
Immediately after the banger of a match that was Spain versus Taiwan, we got to see the match of the week, with Seed 16 Malaysia versus Seed 17 Poland. And this is going to be a classic battle of Rice versus LNs. After the bans of Rice 1 and LN3, Malaysia opts to pick their protective LN2, and getting the second top score of the weekend, Malaysia wins by a massive margin with triple 99.8s. Next, Poland decides to take us into the Rice category with Rice 2, and this Polish team is so strong in these jump streams that even without the 2 misses on the Malaysian side, they still would have had a sizable lead.
A lot more breaks in between, and Poland is just going to hold this lead, even extend it slightly. And they're going to be taking their first map. 2-9-8-9 for their final team score, and 2B1 double assist.
This same back and forth continued between the teams across the next 3 picks of LN1, Rice 3, and Hybrid 2, with Malaysia showing their dominance by earning the #1 team score of the weekend on LN1. Moving on, Poland picked the fan favorite Rice 5, where the match flipped after Poland suffered 2 devastating breaks in the later half of the map.
Or rather the map. So they're all pretty similar picks across the board on Poland's side. And there's a miss now by Klobok. That's an opening for Malaysia to take the lead.
Malaysia are able to take the lead for the first time in their match. Now in match point, Malaysia gets the chance to finish off the weakened Polish team on their pick of Hybrid 1. However, never count out Poland when they have their backs against the walls.
Has this, but there's still 200,000 more points, and Leon drops twice into the hands of the Alliance, and now Poland has the chance, the golden chance to get back into the game, and they do! 1,000 points in their favor, but the accuracy could still make a difference here. The score gap is shrinking, it's starting to flicker. Will it be Poland putting the heroic effort here? Perhaps getting the breakpoint for themselves. There's not much map left. 400 points, 600 points into the end. There's no misses. And Poland stays ahead. But will they until the very last? And they do! 820 points of difference. Insane comeback by the Polish.
On the brink of match point, Poland had a choice between the techie Rice 3 and the extremely chokeable Rice 6, and they chose the latter. Luckily enough, Poland's accuracy was immaculate and brought us to the first and only tiebreaker of the weekend. Poland hasn't been able to see the winner's side of round 16 since 2019, so this is their chance to make history.
Finds a miss, and the map is pretty much over immediately. So Poland needs to be holding that pressure and transform it into performance, which we're doing really well. But Maltz instead is the one to drop, and Poland still holds the lead, but just barely into the right section now, and it's gonna flicker and swap back to Malaysia now. 800, 900, 1,000, another miss by Maltz, and Malaysia takes back the lead in the rice portion, and it's pretty much the reverse history of what we saw so far in the match.
But there's still a core of the map left to go. There's still over a minute left.
This map stayed close throughout, and Kilobuk tried their best to keep their team afloat with the only FC in lobby. But the accuracy from the Malaysian side was just high enough to allow Malaysia to move on to the winner's side around 16. This match was very hard to give an MVP to, since so many players did extremely well, but I would have to give it to J-Lie, because not only did they top score both hybrids, but their low 200 count was the reason that Malaysia was able to take so many misses on tiebreaker and still prevail. Alright, I am here with team captain of Malaysia, Leon. Leon, do you want to introduce yourself a bit?
Hi. Hello, my name is Leon, and as you mentioned, I'm the captain of Team Malaysia for this year. And so far, I've been playing the World Cup, Mania World Cup, for my 5th time this year, actually. And I've delved in a sort of things, many things. I've done hosting, just played casually, helped staff in other tournaments as well. And yeah, I'm very, very excited for this interview. Thank you so much for having me, by the way, SunApple.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. It's going to be about like the roster itself, because I mean, I feel like the Malaysian roster has been ever evolving throughout just the entirety of these past few years. And I think this year has been very interesting because the 2 new players have been super active in the roster. And I'm wondering whether these team changes have changed up the game plan for Malaysia just throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, especially since after 2022, after all the older players have started to dwindle out, started to play less, we obviously had to start scouting newer players. 2023 was a lesser known year because we were bringing in, there wasn't that many active players. Then last year we had, most notably, we had Yon Hong, IC5 and Progen. So because of that team, we shifted our focus to like not just LN anymore. We weren't just an LN country anymore. We started being able to play different sorts of skill sets. And to just move back to your question, this year with after our trials, we scouted out A9 here. We call him APQ, and then we have VASD. Both of them very, very, very Rise oriented, very high skill players. So we definitely change up our strats a lot, depending on the map pool and depending on players itself.
So y'all obviously went back to back on breakpoints, and y'all were able to get to match point, and eventually went into Poland's pick of Rice 6. How were y'all feeling at that point? Y'all were so close to TB, but also so close to just outright winning the match.
Yeah, that's right. We were just, obviously losing our lead, that tanked a bit, especially for new players. That definitely tanks our motivation a bit. But we were still very high spirits. We were still fine. We knew we were still in the lead, having a chance. So our focus was just simple, just do the best we can, combo game. But they took the win, obviously. Their Rice was just way better.
And how did y'all feel having to go into it? Were y'all nervous? I know a lot of the newer players were playing. Did they mention anything at all?
Oh, they were definitely nervous, that's for sure. Even if they didn't mention, I know they were nervous. But they held on. They held on. I'm very proud of them being able to handle this high stressful situations pretty well for the first time.
I was watching it as a captain because obviously you didn't play in the match, so you were kind of a bit of a spectator for not playing the match, but not playing TB.
I've been in this position in so many times. I always just scream in the Twitch chat. That's me all the time. I just scream in the Twitch chat all the best to them and just pray to God, which did happen in the end. It was very scary in the first half when even our carry J-Line started missing. I was very slightly losing hope already.
Yeah, honestly, for me watching the match, I was very surprised that so many misses came out from the Malaysian team, but y'all still were able to clutch it up. Your team's accuracy is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, thanks. Their physicality is just very up there in physicality. Poland would have taken that if there were any other pick. They lost that just purely due to losing stamina towards the end.
Y'all are obviously going up against Seed 1 China this weekend, and it's going to be daunting no matter what. But surprisingly enough, y'all's team scores in round of 32 were actually decently close. So how are y'all feeling against that team?
How we feel is the same as what everyone thinks. It's very daunting, very unlucky bracket placement fighting the number 1 seed. And it's so poetic as well because it's the exact same scenario last year. Fighting China again on the exact same round, just different rosters. And I did a lot of research myself about China team. Yes, you're right about us closely matching their scores, and I do think some of our scores are really good last round, but it's not full information because they definitely did not have their full roster. But nevertheless, in my eyes, it's just practice the best you can, do the best you can, even though it's the best team in the tournament, and just have fun in the end.
Thank you for coming once again, Leon. I really appreciate it. I wish you good luck against China this weekend.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me. It's very glad, very fortunate to be able to be participated in this interview. Thank you so much again.
All right. Well, over to you, Dynascape.
And with the conclusion of that interview, that's going to do it for us for this week's MWC 4K 2025 recap. We hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for this weekend's matches in the round of 16, as we see the competition slowly dwindle down with the first couple of teams getting knocked out in the losers bracket. Until then, we'll catch you in the next one.